An army stands stalled at the edge of the continent. A massive ocean blocks the path to Lanka, where Queen Sita is held captive by the demon king Ravana. Among the warriors on this beach is a being with the physiological capacity to leap across this entire body of water, but he remains motionless, completely unaware of what he can do. If this warrior doesn't move, the campaign ends here. The army has no fleet, no bridge, and no way to reach the captive queen. The war is lost before it truly begins. The most significant threat to Ravana's empire is sitting right here on the sand, dormant within the mind of a monkey. This lack of self-awareness is the result of a specific divine history. Hanuman was born as the 11th avatar of Shiva, fathered by Vayu, the god of the wind. This lineage granted him nearly limitless physical potential from birth. As an infant, he looked up at the morning sun, mistook the glowing sphere for a ripe fruit, and launched himself into the atmosphere to consume it. Fearing a cosmic catastrophe, Indra, the king of the gods, intercepted the child. He hurled his ultimate weapon, the Vajra, which struck him down and sent him falling back toward the earth. To prevent his father Vayu from destroying the world in grief, the gods issued a series of protective boons. They made Hanuman's body indestructible, impervious to fire, water, and every known weapon. But the child used this invincibility for mischief, disrupting the rituals of forest sages. In response, a sage placed a restriction on his mind. Hanuman would live the rest of his life in a state of total amnesia regarding his own divine powers. This transformed a living god into a seemingly ordinary creature. It highlights how even the most extreme physical capabilities can be neutralized by a simple lack of awareness. The sage's curse contained a specific trigger for its reversal. Hanuman's memory, and therefore his strength, would return only if another being explicitly recounted his history to him. On the beach, the elder Jambavan realizes the stakes. He approaches the silent Hanuman and begins to detail the forgotten facts of his divine birth and his indestructible nature. As Hanuman reconnects with his history, his physical presence begins to change. His body expands, his muscles' density increases, and his scale grows to match the identity being described to him. He immediately crosses the ocean in a single leap. When Ravana's guards attempt to execute him by lighting his tail on fire, Hanuman uses the flames to ignite the city of Lanka, reducing its defenses to ash. With his memory restored, Hanuman's output scales to the requirement of the mission. He expands his physical form to overcome any environmental obstacle he encounters. This capacity for scaling is put to the test when Lord Ram's brother, Lakshman, is mortally wounded. A healer identifies the Sanjeevani herb as the only cure, but it must be retrieved from a distant mountain before the next sunrise. This image captures the massive scale of the Himalayan range. Finding a single plant in these jagged peaks at night was a logistical impossibility, so Hanuman changed the scale of the solution. He uproots the entire peak and carries the mountain back to the battlefield. His most complex challenge occurs in Patal Lok, the underworld. The demon Ahiravan has abducted Ram and Lakshman, intending to sacrifice them in the subterranean depths. At the gates of the underworld, Hanuman is blocked by a guard named Makardhwaj, who claims to be Hanuman's son. This presents a biological mystery, as Hanuman had lived a life of strict celibacy. The explanation lies in his divine biology. During his leap across the ocean, a single drop of sweat, concentrated with his immense internal heat, fell into the water and was swallowed by a creature, eventually becoming a fully realized warrior. Hanuman is forced to battle this manifestation of his own life force. He defeats his unintended son to fulfill his duty and rescue his lords. This encounter proves that his physical output is so dense that even his incidental byproducts possess the power of high-level warriors. His strength exceeds the requirements of the battlefield. These celebratory lights mark the end of the war and the return of Lord Ram to Ayodhya. The victory is complete, and the victors are honored in the royal court. As a gesture of gratitude, Queen Sita presents Hanuman with a necklace of rare and flawless pearls. Hanuman immediately begins to crush the pearls between his teeth, meticulously examining the fragments before discarding them on the floor of the palace. He explains that he is looking for the presence of his lord within the material. If Ram is not reflected inside the pearls, the objects are functionally worthless to him. This act demonstrates that his physical power is tied to a total lack of interest in material gain or personal ego. This state of absolute focus is called bhakti. In the mechanics of Hanuman's legend, this devotion is the specific force that activates his invincibility. The story suggests that capability remains dormant as long as the focus remains on the self. It is only when Hanuman's history is spoken back to him in the context of a mission that his strength returns. This towering presence symbolizes the boon of immortality granted to him. He is said to remain on Earth as long as his story is told, a permanent fixture in the landscape. The legend illustrates a specific internal process. Significant power is not something he simply owns. It is a capacity that is accessed only through the total dedication to a purpose outside of himself.